Eric emailed me and was like, hey, do you want to do a new music project? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I just recorded a little demo, sent it back, and then like, boom, the songs just like when I was overseas, we just like banged them out. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I never set levels. I just did it by like, okay, that sounds good. Sometimes I had to turn it way up because I was living with a German family and I would be recording at like midnight and everyone was asleep. So I'd be like huddled in a corner of the room with a pillow being like singing really quietly.
So seriously, I don't even think we were planning on being a band or like playing shows or anything, but it just happened so well. I was like, why not?
We were eating lunch at Spicy Korea, which is no longer there, by the way. We were talking about, our next album because we had finished Shadow Girl, and I said, I already know what I want to name it. I want to call it Eingang, and like I had like a concept for it, but I had nothing written really. It's a German word. It's the word you see on all of the doors. It literally means go in. I kind of look at me coming back to the U.S. specifically, kind of to pursue music actually. And I see that as kind of a portal for us. But this album in general is pretty melancholy, like most New Shack albums. And the ending song is actually called Crash.
I hope that's not a foreshadowing of something.
No, not at all. But this album really floats and flies. There's like this port of entry, which is very space-driven. There's a song called Airplane, right? It's flying, and then there's also the element of crashing or going into something that, maybe entering something that's unknown.
It's a 2005. Oh, we have a lot of stuff. It's gonna scrape like, yes, that feels good. Okay. All right, let's do it.
Singing live is super scary for me. Like really scary. Like probably one of my greatest fears, TBH. Our first show was like pretty scary. Someone had recorded it on their cell phone and I watched it afterward and stayed in bed for like 3 days. Eric knows, I was so depressed. And someone actually even, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough because, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist.
You tried to codify your life. You tried to modify the race.
I was doing music very seriously all the way until I was a teenager, at which point I had like a breakdown and like swore it off for a while. And my life went up and down for a few years, and I was moving all over the place, and eventually moved to Germany, which would have been in the last couple of years. And that's really where music for me was the greatest outlet. And like I was able to tap into something that really helped me when I was frustrated with the language and frustrated with having no money. And I don't know, it was like I could sit down in my room, hammer out a 3-minute song in the period of like an hour. It was totally cathartic for me in that situation.
There's nothing better for me than to like have a dim room with a guitar or something. And most of my best songs have come from those times when I'm feeling down and slightly depressed. I mean, I'm sure there's something else that could help me get out of it, but that's kind of my go-to whenever I do feel like just super tired or, like I said, down. Like House of Frankenstein came that way. I just went to the studio late on a Sunday night, just bummed out about some stuff and wrote that riff. I mean, I benefit from, the music definitely benefits from me being in a kind of lowered state.
I tried to rectify your fate. I tried to.
I like your wig. It looks so good.
Thank you. Oh, actually, I think we want you guys to play with us, like for our album release show, like at the beginning of April. Would you guys be down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We will be in touch.
Yeah.
We will be in touch. The boys wanted to wear black, and they wanted me to wear white, and then the makeup got a little bit dramatic, so
I'm not usually this like showy, but today I am, so.
Like, I'm like all about like death and destruction in my lyrics and like sad. So I had like this really happy song, but at the same time, it does have an element of melancholy. I imagine Airplane to be about, yeah, a world in which two lovers exist, but it's a place of isolation. It's a place in which they connect, but also maybe they're connecting in their loneliness. It was something that I guess I was trying to imagine like what it would be like if I had some kind of like secret pen pal or something. And that's like, I wrote it in kind of like an imaginary setting. And since, as I was adjusting the lyrics, I adjusted it to reflect all kinds of like relationships that I have that seem to be floating above, whether that's in like a scary way or like a sweet way.